Hello, we are back with another UFC fight night. It is your boy Gomi, and we had a nice revitalizing break from the UFC for a bit because, as you know, and I've said multiple times, the UFC has been struggling as of late, but we had a return to form because UFC 317 was genuinely great. And you guys should know me by now. I am a goddamn cynic when it comes to this, but I had virtually no complaints about 317. It was just solid all around. Was it the greatest card of all time? No, but was it the best card of this year? Absolutely. Was it an actually good card, not just going by this year's standards? Absolutely. I enjoyed it. I called a lot of it. Again, my point still stands is I kind of wish it wasn't Charles Oliveira, and as I told you, Ilya was going to murder the man. I'm very happy I was wrong about Royval versus Van. I even said I think Royval would win, but I want Van to get it. He got it, and that was a fight a year. Very annoyed with Renato Moicano. That is the guy who screwed me. I'm not going to lie. I would have been up a lot if Moicano won. I was up a good bit because I hammered Ilya by KO, and Ilya first 2 rounds, I hammered those lines. I really wish I put more on that, and I was so close to putting Pantoja by submission, but I was like, no, I'm going to put him by decision, and I regret that. So, also, Terrence McKinney round 1 was an easy bet as well, too. So, there you go. That was a great card, and now we're on to, surprise, surprise, I think this is also a good card. Yes. Again, the cynic in me is dying. It's dissipating because if we're looking at UFC Fight Night Nashville, it's not a bad card. It's not a bad card. That's a pretty... I don't give a damn about that main event. A heavyweight main event could either be round 1 or... God... lay and pray for 25 minutes, which you look at Derrick Lewis and you're like, no, it's Derrick Lewis. That would never happen. He'd never have a boring lay and pray 5-round or 3-round fight where nothing happens. Where is it? God, this guy fights too much. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah. You'd never have a boring, awful fight where nothing happens with Derrick Lewis, right? That could so but yeah, the rest of the card's actually good. Let's break it down with the first fight, which is not a good fight, but trust me, it gets better. Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez. This should be an easy win for Fatima Klein, but as you know, with MMA in general now, but specifically women's MMA, you can't bank on fighters to fight smart. As horrible as it sounds. I think back to Melissa Mullen/Dixon rematching someone that she beat via grappling very easily, choosing to not grapple at all during the fight. So you never know. You never know, unfortunately. I'm going to go with Fatima Klein to get it done over Melissa Martinez. Martinez's grappling is awful. Fatima Klein's grappling is good. She's solid striking, solid everywhere Fatima Klein is. Melissa Martinez, I'd say, is probably slightly the better striker or equal to him. So if it's a stand-up cardio kickboxing match, it's up in the air. If it touches the ground, Klein wins it easily every day. So again, you have to bank on her fighting smart. I don't know if I want to do that. I'll take Klein decision, but I'm very worried about it. Odds-wise, Klein is minus 1,200. So they're banking that it touches the ground. If the fight touches the ground, I mean, I'm never going to say any fight should ever be a minus 1,200. Get that shit out of my fucking face. But, fight touches the ground, she's minus 500. If it doesn't, guess what? You're sitting at a minus 150 to minus 110 with Fatima Klein. Don't touch that. Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. Another fight where I'm like, wow, Davis should absolutely win this fight, but I heavily question his heart. He's the much better fighter in all aspects, specifically grappling, but he's very injury prone. He stated in interviews that he doesn't like fighting and he doesn't want to do this, but he's good at it. Those scare me. I definitely think Mitch Ramirez is better. Ramirez has some good wins in the regional scene, but his skill set just really isn't UFC caliber, my honest opinion. But again, Mike Davis, it's a rough one. I'm going to haphazardly go with Mike Davis to get it done by decision, but make no mistake, I'm absolutely worried about this fight. I absolutely am. I don't know if you heard it, but I just smacked my face with the biggest face palm ever. I'm not taking Mike Davis at minus 900 over the plus 600 at Mitch Ramirez. I'm not picking Mitch Ramirez. I refuse to. But again, in no way or shape or form should Mike Davis be minus 900. He should be minus 300 at best. Jesus Christ, no one should ever be this. No one should ever be that high. That's awful. Mike Davis to get it done via decision, but that's again me being pretty pessimistic, to be honest with you. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Walter Walker. This has to be an evenly placed odds-wise fight, but this is a hard one. Kennedy Nzechukwu, since going up to heavyweight, has looked really good against absolute scrubs. Walter Walker has been looking to improve. That was a good beat. That was a good pick for him against Lucas Brzeski. I don't know how he lost that fight, but regardless, Walter Walker since then, his striking has been actually better, believe it or not. But the main thing is, we have a heavyweight that can grapple and loves heel hooks. Reminds me of Cyril Gane. Not like Cyril Gane was an elite grappler, but he did like them heel hooks. Can he get a third heel hook in a row against a Kennedy Nzechukwu? I just don't think so. I think Kennedy Nzechukwu should be better on the feet by far. I think he'll keep it standing. It may touch the ground a few points, but I think Kenny can get back up. It's very hard to say. Kennedy Nzechukwu had the awful fight against OSP, what was it, 2 years ago? And that makes me just never want to ever trust him, to be honest with you. But, I don't know. It's a very difficult one. I'm going to go Kennedy Nzechukwu by TKO. I think I wrote decision initially. I did write decision initially. I have too many TKOs and finishes towards the end of this card, so I'm going to go with decision. Get a nice little balance. But yeah, I'm going to go with decision, but that's a hard one. Odds-wise makes sense. Kennedy Nzechukwu at minus 240, Walter Walker at plus 200. You can put it a little bit closer, but Walter Walker did look really bad in the Lucas Brzeski fight, so. Lauren Murphy versus Eduardo Mora. If you guys remember when I started this channel, believe it or not, was the last time she fought. By the way, it's one of my earlier videos. Is the last time she fought. You should probably know where I'm going with this. I picked this fight to go the distance. It was plus 650, and people are like, "What the hell you mean, bro? Jessica Andrade's gonna easily finish her." People were overrating Andrade in the big 2023. She's even worse nowadays. But yes, make no mistake, Lauren Murphy is 40 years old and even worse. Eduardo Mora is all right too. She's a decent fighter. She's not great, but she's not bad. She's a younger fighter with solid grappling, good ground and pound. Murphy is coming off a 2-year layoff. She's just an old cardio kickboxer, but she is very durable, so I'll give her that. I think Eduardo Mora by decision is a lock, honestly. But I'm not gonna lie, I spoiled myself talking shit about the Mike Davis one. No, I'm not putting minus 600 on Eduardo Mora. I get it. Lauren Murphy, she's definitely gonna lose. Definitely. But like minus 600, that's like, oh, he's gonna finish him in like 30 seconds. That's what you put like a minus 600. Not that. Do we even have like odds? I'm doing this a little bit later. No, it doesn't look like it yet. But that's just. No. Mora decision. Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. So I do this all the time for the Hobo Cup. I'll do it now for Chidi. Chidi has never been the same since the RoboCop fight. That's my running gag. Chidi honestly looked pretty bad. He's looked pretty bad a few times. He's looked pretty good here and there, but even some of his wins, he's looked not good. But still, though, Jake Matthews, he's kind of washed. He's durable. He has a very solid check left hook, I've noticed in my rewatching of a tape. But yeah, he mainly needs to wrestle. Chidi does not have the best wrestling, and that's going to be Jake Matthews' main avenue of getting this done. Otherwise, Chidi is just pretty vicious. He's got some good power to him. He's got some good strikes. I don't know why he's going the distance and having split decisions with guys like a Gooden, like a McNee. But if it's somebody who's not garbage, but just like I don't know how to describe it. I want to say Jake Matthews is garbage, but his type of fighter is a guy that GD Edgequanic beats. Washed up journeyman? Do you want to say that? Do you want to say Jake Matthews is washed? I don't want to say he's washed, but like, I don't know. Best way I could describe it. But this is not the Chidi that's destroying Dusko, Baryu, who'd he fight on Contender Series? I don't remember. But that's not this Chidi. That Chidi is dead. He took a nice little losing streak, and he's now on a nice little winning streak. But even in these wins, he's not looking good again, other than Zaleski. He's not looking that good. Jake Matthews has fought some solid guys, and he's only been really like beaten up by like a Michael Moraes or a Semmelsbergen or a Sean Brady. So this should be a solid, fun fight. I'm a slightly leaning towards Chidi to get done by decision. Chidi is a slight favorite, -115 to -105 for Jake Matthews. Absolutely makes sense. Oh, my AC turned off. Weird. Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is back. When's the last time he fought? Been a while. Kopylov. Huh. I don't know. I thought it was the Allen fight. Huh. Yeah. Chris Curtis, Max Griffin. Max Griffin is, I think, super washed. Now, do I want to say Chris Curtis is washed? I kind of don't wanna. He's got that washed record. Like, I'm sorry, when you get double digits, I think you're washed. But I just think Max Griffin is a less caliber of washed than Max Griffin. That terminology didn't make sense. I think Chris Curtis is a better spot than Max Griffin. The thing about Griffin is he's just low volume these days. He's low volume and he doesn't have a lot of pop out of shots. Chris Curtis is also low volume, pretty much a counter striker, but when he counters, he lands hard and he hits some pretty solid shots. I absolutely think Chris Curtis will win this fight, and I think he'll finish him, to be honest with you. I just don't have a lot of faith or a lot of like high placement in Max Griffin. He's been getting his ass beat plenty of times. He's beating guys like Jeremiah Wells or Tim Means. Jesus. Those are some shit wins. I'm going to go Chris Curtis, get it done. I'm going to pick him to get it done by TKO. Chris Curtis is a pretty big favorite, -320 to the +250 Max Griffin. I don't know how confident I am in those odds, but I am picking Chris Curtis, and I'm pretty confident in it, but we'll see. Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokos. There's not much to go with the Tafa brothers. He is going out in light heavyweight, though. And I have seen pictures of him at light heavyweight. And he doesn't look bad. Tuco Tokos, on the other hand, is... what's the word? An idiot. No, I don't want to say an idiot, but he's got poor fight IQ. Tafa also has poor fight IQ. I'm not a fan of both guys. His leg kicking defense is also not good, but like... I don't know. I'm going to be taking Tuco Toko. No, I'm going to take Junior Tafa. Like I said, he looked really good in the picture I saw of him down a light heavyweight. So I'm going to take Junior Tafa, but it's not a really, like, you can't pick the Tafa bros with intelligence. Yeah. Where the hell are the odds? Junior Tafa is going to be, did I say Justin? I might have said Justin. Justin's the older brother. Yep, Junior Tafa is minus 180. Tuco Tokos is plus 150. Makes sense. They're on the same boat as me. Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Okay, you know what? When I said this fight was good, I said it had some fun fights, but these are very no-brain picks. Vitor Petrino, I think he's going to beat the shit out of Austin Lane and will only lose to the poor fight IQ, but I still think Vitor Petrino is good. I just don't think he underestimated Anthony Smith, which I don't blame him. Anthony Smith's not that good, but still. Austin Lane, though, he's been knocked out 6 goddamn times. He's a former football player, so he already has micro concussions from that, and he just doesn't have good fight IQ. Simple as that. Simple as that. I think Vitor Petrino will just run into like a buzzsaw and knock him out. I don't see any way this fight goes the distance outside of just what the hell performance, like a performance that just baffles you. Like, this should not have been like this, which happens. But if it goes how it should happen, I think it'll happen. I think Vitor Petrino is just going to be able to knock out Austin Lane. Austin Lane just has some high athleticism for him, but he lunges in like a dumbass. Petrino has good straight shots. Petrino can take it to the ground if it needs to be. I could see Austin Lane maybe doing like a lay and pray, but I think Petrino will be too smart for that. So Petrino is a minus 650 to the plus 460 Austin Lane. There's no fun there. Don't bet it. Nate the Train. He's going up against Morgan Charrier. This should be a very fun fight, actually. You got Nate the Train, who's just a very exciting, versus a Morgan Charrier who's explosive and powerful in his own way. He's typically a finish or get outworked type of fighter. Nate can outwork you, but I don't know. Nate's durable. He's hometown favorite. Endless cardio, endless heart. He will go out as a shield, but he's old. He's old, and I can see a Morgan Charrier putting him out. He's been put out before. I'm ultimately going to be going with Morgan Charrier to get it done by TKO. Just because if it goes to a decision, I think Nate wins it. But make no mistake, my brain is picking Morgan Charrier. I'm not going to be betting this because I already guarantee you Morgan Charrier is going to be a ridiculous favorite. But my heart wants Nate the Train to win it. I like Nate the Train. Okay, the odds are not that bad, actually. It's definitely... It's bettable. You could probably get a double chance, either TK or decision. But Morgan Charrier at minus 240, Nate the Train at plus 200. Ooh, I almost closed that out. Next fight is Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. This is a fun fight as well, too. The problem is the prospect of Calvin Kattar, not prospect is like, potential talent, but like he's probably washed. Calvin Kattar is probably washed. Steve Garcia is a pretty good boxer. Kind of not as active as, he's 2 fights a year, I believe. Yeah, he's 2 fights a year. But Steve Garcia hasn't fought in a little bit. It's been almost a year, but I don't know. Calvin Kattar, on the other hand, I was super high on him, but I think he's washed at this point. I think I gotta just come to terms with it. Like I said, he's getting to that double-digit number, and I think it's gonna get that double-digit number now. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. Granted, I think he should have absolutely won against Josh Emmett. But what the hell was the Sterling fight? What the fuck was that? That's a telltale sign that he's not the same guy. He's not the same guy that butchered Giga Chikadze, samurai'd him. That was so good, so fun to watch. I gotta say, the hallway fight changed him. I don't want to say the hallway fight did because he had the amazing performance against Giga, but I guess that was just it. He said, I want one more win. He got one more win, and since then, he's just not looked good. Yeah, Yusuf Zalal ran. I was not a fan of that performance from Zalal, but Zalal still won. Steve Garcia, I think, will take it to him. I think if Calvin Kattar is up into form, it should be a very fun fight where he has a chance of winning. But at this age and all these losses and all this confidence gone, I think Steve Garcia is going to be better. Calvin Kattar, I typically would label him the better boxer, but I'm going to go with Steve Garcia now. I think his boxing right now is very good. He's getting tons of finishes. His body work and his shot placement are on point. Calvin Kattar does always have those elbows from hell. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Steve Garcia. I'm going to say Kattar's still too tough to get finished. He is very durable. So Garcia decision is my pick. Wow, I expected to be bigger of a favorite. Minus 135 to the plus 115 Kattar. I think Garcia at that just right there is a solid bet. Now on to the co-main event of the evening. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Why did I call him Steven? I only call him Wonderboy. Versus Gabriel Bonfim. Remember when I was super high on the Bonfim brothers? I still like them. I'm still high on them. I still think he's going to win this fight. But I've seen the holes in their games. I cannot believe that this guy lost to Nicholas Dalby the way he did. That's just so bad. The cardio issue is always going to be a problem for Bonfim. And Bonfim, as you know, is a club and sub guy. He is not a guy who's typically going to go out there and really wrestle you for a submission. He's going to go out there. He's going to hurt you to make you open up for a submission. That's hard to do against Wonderboy. You need crazy power and persistence like a Buckley. I'm not going to take the Buckley losses and he's washed. He is old. Wonderboy is old. He is getting to that washed marker. But to still say he's washed is ridiculous. He is still a monster on the feet. And this fight is primarily going to be taken on the feet. And he's still hard as hell to take down. Wonderboy has a lot of tools, and I'm just picking Bonfim because I still believe in his talent and the age. But make no mistake, Bonfim is probably going to be a massive favorite, and it should not be that. Bonfim should be minus 180 to a plus 150 Wonderboy. Anything else is idiotic, in my honest opinion. But I'm going to be picking Bonfim to get it done. I'm going to pick him by submission. Yeah, I know only one person's ever submitted Wonderboy, which has been Shavkat. But I just have a feeling if Bonfim is as special as I hope and believe, he will get it done by submission. I don't think he's going to knock him out. But still, I don't give a shit about that. Wonderboy, as I said, plus 310 to the minus 400 Bonfim. That is a bad line. If you had to bet, I'd bet Wonderboy at that. But again, I don't think he's winning. I hate doing that. I hate picking off what has the more value if I think the other guy's gonna win. I don't like doing that. But yeah, I'm sorry. That's a bad odds. Bad odds. And on to the main event of the evening. I made an illustration for this that doesn't need it because I'm not gonna have much to say about this fight. The heavyweight fight between Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. 40 years old for Lewis, 28 and 12. Jesus. 235 KOs. Yeah, okay, my model's broken. Yeah, homie, he's got 235 KOs. He does have the record for most of that KOs in the UFC, but more, boy, it's 15 actually. It's 15, right? Yeah, it's 15. He actually has 23 KOs. There we go. Where'd the 5 come from? 1 submission, 6'3" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 79-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.59 takedown average, a 52.94% significant strike accuracy, plus 225 underdog significance over Rodrigo Nascimento, Marcos de Lima, Chris Dawkins, why'd I put that there, and Curtis Blades. Like he's got 3 shit wins, and then Curtis Blades is actually a solid win. Tallison Teixeira is 25 years old. Wow, he's younger than me. Oh my god. 8 years old. 8 wins, 0 losses, 7 knockouts, 1 submission, 6'7" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 83-inch reach advantage, a 0 takedown average, significant strike accuracy at 60.32, and a minus 275 favorite. Significance over Justin Tafa, and that's fucking it. What am I going to say about this? It's a Derrick Lewis fight. He can fluke his way to win. He can throw a flying knee. He can get crazy. He's got that equalizing power. He's 40 years old. He loses to actual good fighters he fights, but he'll just sneak out a "how did you do that" performance. It will happen. I don't know. Tallison Teixeira is not a grappler. He is a striker. He had some slick movement in his last fight against Justin Tafa. He had a really nice high kick, but even Derrick Lewis has those deceptively decent switch kicks. Ultimately, I'm going to be going with Tallison Teixeira. That's a no-brainer to get it done by TKO. Don't bet it, because you really don't know. Just bet it that the fight doesn't go the distance. But that's probably going to be like juice to all hell as well, too. So, not much to say on this fight. Derrick Lewis, like I said, switch kicks and big overhands. And he's got a nice uppercut. Tallison Teixeira, basic boxing with a really good high kick. That's all you need to know about these two guys. Someone's going to die, hopefully. But yes, that has been it. That is UFC Nashville. Once again, this has been your boy Gomi, and please let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this card. And bye-bye.